Lights, camera, action, projection? What goes into the average moviegoer's experience of the years of hard work put into a professional movie? All of us are familiar with what it's like to watch a movie in the ambience of theaters, and some of us also know what goes into making a movie. But what happens after the film is done? How is a digital movie picture turned into a 2-mile-long film reel? We now introduce you to the final product of every professional filmmaker in the world, the art of post-production. The projector is a backbone of the final product, the fluid moving picture. It is a complex piece of equipment, finely tuned to fractions of seconds and millimeters. Key to the machine is the component of the intermittent sprocket. To understand why this is so important, it is essential to understand the anatomy of the actual film. There are two types of film, flat and scope. Both types of film are made up of thousands of images that, shown in the right order, produce a moving picture. The role of the intermittent sprocket becomes clear at this point. If light shined through a moving film reel, the projected image would be a blur and unrecognizable. The intermittent sprocket rotates at a set speed faster than all other film and gears. Because there are 24 frames per second, the intermittent gives a burst every 1/24th of a second, but rests for the other time. It appears to be moving constantly because of its high speed. Each time it moves, the next frame is placed in the film gate and projected onto the movie screen. Movies require a lot of light to make the film come in clear, and that's why the majority of the actual projector's volume is devoted towards high-intensity light. An expensive, extremely powerful xenon bulb is the source. Averaging about $500, a xenon bulb is so powerful, it's blinding if looked at directly. Any oil residue from fingertips will cause a massive explosion in the bulb. Anywhere between 900 to 15,000 watts flow through the tungsten leads, which is then reflected into a concentrated beam through the film gate. After passing through the film, the light goes through a lens which focuses the moving picture on the wall. Without the second component of film, going to the movies would be a waste of time. A great audio experience is essential to the mood, message, and experience of the film. Sound is encoded on the film itself in 4 different formats: analog, DTS, SDDS, and Dolby. The projector uses a laser to read the waveform of analog and the data of Dolby printed on the film.
So it's actually taking 2 analog signals which look like wavy lines, and the light goes across them.
DTS formatted films come with additional CDs, which are played and matched up with the moving picture. The intense rumbling sounds and blood-curdling screams produced in the theater require a powerful sound system.
You have mid, center, and high. They will have an amp running each one of those. There's 2 amps in the back of this. So one will go to the high frequency, one will go to the low. With AMC you would use 1.5 amps because it's 5 amps, so you use one for the high, one for the low, one for the mid.
And each theater is equipped with several amplifiers equipped with 5.1 surround sound. Hand in hand, the audio and video from the projector create an intense, enjoyable experience. First, the print is shipped in multiple reels. Each print comes in a different color box, signifying its priority. Orange boxes signify high demand, while gray boxes signify low demand. Each reel is wound so that the tail, or end, is exposed. Each reel is then placed on a build-up table to be attached to the head or beginning of another reel. This is done by using special transparent tape that is cut to match the frames. Then the projectionist applies special aluminum tape or Q-tape to certain parts of the print. Each piece of tape sends the projector a command to fade the auditorium lights, start the film, or turn the projector off. The small 1,000-foot reel is then wound onto a large 6,000-foot reel. After each small reel is spliced in order, it is then wound onto the projector's platter using a high-speed turntable. First, the brain is placed into the center of the platter. This small piece of plastic controls the speed of the platter the film is placed on. The film is then led through a series of small rollers in the brain. The variac is then engaged manually to allow the platter to spin freely. The film is then led through rollers located on the projector and then taken back and threaded through the variac and then onto an empty receiving platter. The projectionist then places the film in the optical failsafe, which prevents the film from being damaged in case of a problem. Afterwards, the film is threaded through the projector's analog sound drum and up to and through the film gate. This directs the light onto the film and focuses the projected image onto the screen. The film is then led through the digital sound reader, which provides greater sound experience. After the threading has been checked, the projectionist changes the lens to match the format and starts the film. Without the work that goes on behind the scenes at the theater level, no movie would ever be successful. The projectionist is the final link in the movie-making process. Now that you know what goes into projecting a movie, you will never see a movie in the same way.